Hello and welcome to your astrological vibrations for Friday, July 29th, 2022 by Gaia Blooming. I am Mimi and our energy mantra for today is I center myself by focusing on love. And today we have the moon continuing through Leo, making some squares with this Mars, Uranus, North Node, concoction that the universe has dragged up. Speaking of that, please keep sending good vibes, healing vibes, prayers, good juju to Joe, as he will be recovering for a long time. He was in a car accident and has a lot of healing to do. And speaking of these energies, being very careful, taking time to get grounded before you go anywhere, before you take action, is going to be so important in this energy. And today, this Mars-Uranus energy is being really activated by the moon squaring it. And in and through this, we also are feeling some of that South Node energy. So South Node in Scorpio is like, hey, you don't have to be afraid of this. And I really believe that despite things that I don't necessarily like happening, I truly believe astrology is working for us. Astrology, like the stars, the planets, these energies are working for us. It's working with us. We do need to be aware of our resistance, because our resistance can expand the situational reactions that happen. But there's no need to fear in this. Our work is trusting in this and leaning into it. So right now we're leaning into love with all of the Leo energy, letting that support us, letting love be a high value energy to lean into at this time, recognizing where we have fear and working through those wounds where that fear comes up. That's that South Node Scorpio energy. With Mars, Uranus, North Node, all squaring the moon today, there may be issues around our values, around worth, around money, where we feel a little conflicted in which way we're going to move. There may be some old patterns that we would typically follow that we're being called to shift in and through this. One of the best things that you can do in and through this energy is recognize where you're having resistance. Recognize where you're pushing against something. Because if you are currently experiencing that resistance, chances are this energy is trying to work some change through you, right? And so I think one of the best cards for this energy is the Courage card. Now, to be fair, it's in reverse. We may not feel like we have strength or courage, and yet dropping into the heart, approaching it with love, approaching it for love for yourself, even trying to see where you can hold love within whatever the situation. I know we don't love all situations, right? But where you can hold love in the given situation will help through this. So we start the day with the moon square Mars. Could be some temper tantrum energy, frustration, some places where you're like, I shall not be moved, to the universe, and the universe is like, try me. So watch for that. Again, sometimes we need to get those temper tantrums out, but then recenter in love if possible. Check on your ego, check on your inner child, as they might both have some information for you around this energy. Then we have the moon squaring Uranus. So this is very triggery energy coming through. And again, take it slow, take it easy, take time to get grounded. Do good things for your nervous system. Hopefully that's something that you have figured out for yourself, what works for you. But sometimes even just, getting a nice rock or a nice crystal and utilizing it to support you can be very helpful in and through these energies. We then have the moon connecting to Mercury. So again, here's another place where you can bring your awareness. Mercury in Leo, still currently squaring this Mars, Uranus, North Node energies. Check where you're moving into fear, and check where you're being called to lean into nature, lean into trust, lean into pleasure even in this energy. Again, this isn't about going wild, grounded pleasure, but recognize even in intense times, we still can find the good, we still can find pleasure and lean into that. And that's part of these lessons of Taurus. We end the day with the moon opposing Saturn. So watch for the shoulds. Our shoulds may actually lean us in the wrong direction, or I don't want to say wrong direction, but the not heart direction, right? So we really want to find our place of heart in and through these energies. Again, courage is going to be your friend in this. That being said, it could lean us in the direction of the shoulds, which takes us to the place of politics, where we're doing what we think we should do rather than what we're called to do. And so be aware of that, because it's another place where Uranus is like, I'm gonna point that out for you. That being said, we have the ripeness card. I always appreciate the ripeness card because it's like a reminder from the universe. It feels like a pat on the back from the universe, like, you've got this. And sometimes we just need to be reminded that we do indeed got this, I have receptivity in reverse. This feels, again, like where we're pushing against some energies. And I swear we make our lives just that much harder when we are like in that resistance. So it's seeing how you can work with the energy. Even if you're going to like keto it. I wish Joe was here right now to be like, you pronounced that wrong. But sometimes we need to keto the energy. And in keto, they don't push against, right? So a martial artist could describe that way better than I can, but this is the best I can do. So watch for that. Watch, again, where you are pushing against and through this energy. I also have the Magician card in reverse. So a lot of this just feels like these three cards in reverse. It feels like that resistance energy. And you're working not only against the universe, you're working against yourself in regards to this, and you're exhausting yourself in and through this. Check where your resistance is and do a double check. How are you being called to show up? How can you show up in love in this energy? How can you utilize these new moon energies, these new paths that are potentially being offered to you in this to shift it all up? And just give yourself some relief too. Staying in resistance is never a good feeling. And watch for the politics. Watch for the masks. Watch for the shoulds. Watch where you are not honoring your values. Watch where you are not being authentic. So I'm going to leave this here for today. You can book a reading with me. Email me, mimiclark@gmail.com. Besides that, the better it gets, the better it gets. There's more than enough love in the world for you. You have the power, and honor your values. Namaste.